Let's take a minute.
You still see the logo? Is it all good? All right. Okay. I'm just gonna let it do its thing.
Ooh.
All right.
Wonderful fade out, Bob. Wonderful.
What's that? Was it good?
Great fade out, I said.
I didn't really fade out, but
I know.
did it do a fade out? 'Cause
Yeah, it looked great.
I'll take all the credit. How's it going? Welcome to the House of Static.
Welcome to the House of Static.
All right, I'm Bob Smith, otherwise known as the Static Dive. I am here in upstate New York in my little purple cave. And
I'm Kilo. And
yeah, there you go.
I'm here in my apartment
Okay.
that I live in.
Okay.
Next.
Well, I'm laughing because the whole time we're doing a little sound check, you're blaring loud. You're like, oh man, you're distorting everything. And then when it comes time to talk, you're like,
I know, because you made me think I'm gonna hurt people's ears.
no, that was great. Now we can hear you. So hi,
All
Kilo.
right. Well, then I'm just gonna yell the entire time.
Let's talk, man. All right.
I am.
Kilo House in Los Angeles.
Kilo House in an apartment place somewhere in the world.
There you go. We believe it's Los Angeles
I'm
and
gonna
or Burbank, right? And of course our co-host Alexandria. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Alexandria, and I run Choose Up Music.
There you go.
Thanks
And
for.
Alexandria is dialing in from Hoboken, New Jersey.
Oh yes,
Mm.
and it is raining here. It was supposed to snow. We were supposed to have tons of snow. I was really excited. I got like the comfy pajamas out. I got the Netflix playlist of all the chick flick holiday
Mm-hmm.
movies, and then the snow turned to rain. So I'm a little disappointed.
That's a really
Wow.
good question we could talk about. What's your favorite holiday movie? Everybody, like what's one that you have to watch?
Oh yeah.
All right. You want to just do that now? All right. I'll tell
No,
you.
no, sure. I mean,
No.
we can save it, but I'm just want to remember that in
And
my
while
brain.
we're on it,
Yeah,
I think
why
it's a
not?
good question. Why not?
Why
Well,
not?
how about you? Well, I'll answer. My favorite holiday movie is honestly probably my favorite movie is It's a Wonderful Life. I absolutely love everything about that movie. I could recite it from beginning to end.
really?
So there you go.
I haven't watched it in a very long time.
Oh, it's great.
Hmm.
I'm
It's just
gonna-
great.
What's your favorite part of it? Like just
What's that?
what's your favorite part of it? Like just the whole 9 yards of all
Yeah.
of it
So
together,
I
or-
mean, it's the story, of course, is like the classic. Everybody knows the story. He wishes he was dead, and then an angel says, "All right, here you were never born." And then it shows how awful the world is without him, and it's a really uplifting, heartwarming story.
Hmm.
So that's awesome. It's Christmas, of course, but mainly it's just Jimmy Stewart. I mean, Jimmy Stewart is phenomenal in everything he did, and in that's just like it's just one of my favorite things I've ever watched, and I've watched it 100 times.
Aw.
And also there's a lot of parallels with Bedford Falls and my hometown and my area here. So like Bedford, it's called the town of Bedford Falls. It's supposed to be upstate New York, so it is. There are parallels for good reason. They probably picked 10 different upstate New York towns, Frank Capra, when he's writing it, and just made up names. But like there's in my town of Glens Falls, there was a neighborhood called Bedford Close. In the movie, there's Mr. Potter, who is the bad guy, and he builds Pottersville, which is actually a town in upstate New York. And also there's like a Potter Road in Queensbury. There's like all these like little things that I've always noticed. I always thought was fun, but mostly it just makes me sound insane when I talk about it. So what's your favorite Christmas movie, Alex?
Mine is A Christmas Story.
Well, yeah, there you go.
I love that one. And I don't think that, have you seen it, Kilo?
Yes.
Right. This was your question, sir.
I know. I'm just realizing how immature I am by my answers that are about to come up. So let me just have my moment. Keep talking.
Oh
Okay,
no,
all right.
Home Alone 2. I'm
No,
watching that too.
Christmas
That
is
would
supposed
probably be better than what I'm gonna say.
well,
Because I
Christmas
really
is
like Home Alone 2.
Christmas is a kid's holiday. It's supposed to be immature. It's okay. A Christmas story
All
is
right.
not exactly.
All right, Bob,
know-
just wait until I give you my answers.
They
And then
had they had a Christmas Stories marathon where they just played it back over and over and over
I
and
think
over
don't
and
they
over
do
again.
that all month long on like A&E or something or some channel, one of the weird cable networks. I think just play
Yeah.
it all the time.
I'm
It's
really excited to hear what Kilo has to say about his
Mm.
favorite Christmas.
I actually am wondering if I remember the name of my very favorite, but it's either, I think it's called Surviving Christmas. It has,
Is that the Vince Vaughn movie? Isn't Vince Vaughn?
no.
This song
It's
is
one with Ben Affleck in it, and like it's about like, fuck, let me just look it up. My
favorite
second
one.
favorite is Christmas with the Cranks. Which
Oh,
is-
that's
Christmas with
that's a
That's
fun
that's
movie.
yeah,
Those
that's a
two
big favorite
movies,
around here. That is
I
that's my
have to watch
girlfriend's favorite.
them every single year, or Christmas is not okay.
Yeah,
Fuck,
I've
let
watched
me-
Christmas with the Cranks 1.5 times already.
Mhm.
What
yeah.
is oh, I like Elf too with Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah, Elf is great.
Anything
That
he's in.
my favorite part of Elf is Zoe Deschanel's voice when they're singing when they sing that
Oh, yes.
baby it's cold outside. Her voice, I always thought she was a cool actress, but I never knew what a great singer she was. And I saw that, and I was like, holy crap! And then it turns out she's got a whole music career. She's got a group called Her and Him or him
Yes.
and her or something like that. And and they're she's just got this angelic voice. I love her
Mhm.
voice.
So it's
Christmas-
called, it is called Surviving Christmas. It came out in 2004. It has Ben Affleck and James something words that I don't know. That movie. That's my ultimate favorite one because it's like about this dude that like is like a super fuck boy and like he is not treating this girl right, and then like she's like, I'm princess, and she's like, I'm gonna go away because you're not being right to me on Christmas because he doesn't have a family and she does. And so then he like rents a family that is living in his like childhood home and like then like falls in love with like the daughter of the family. It's really fucking funny. You should
That's
play
fun.
the ad, Bob. It's really
It's-
funny.
Well, I'm looking at the IMDb on it right now. So it's got Ben Affleck, Christina Applegate, who's awesome, and James Gandolfini, who was Tony Soprano
Yeah.
from The Sopranos.
So funny, dude. Like even my parents like love watching it every year. It's great.
Well, all right.
So
So
this
I
is a
love
ritual. You watch
love
this
Christina
particular movie every year.
This one, yes,
here. I'll play a little bit of it here.
it's really funny.
I've
It's-
never
all right.
It also like makes you feel real good in the end. Like in the end of the movie, you're like, oh, I love everything.
All right, here. I just picked a spot and hit play. I don't know what we're looking at. Or here. Oh, here.
James Gandolfini. You gotta go.
Merry Christmas.
Surviving Christmas.
All right. Well, there
It's
you go.
just really funny, but it also has like a good moral in the end of it.
Well, two of the actors are two of my favorite actors, Christina Applegate and James Gandolfini. I'm
not
not,
bad.
let's just say I'm not a fan of Ben Affleck.
I
I'm
like
not.
him. I like him in this movie. He does a really good job.
I
know,
like him because he won J-Lo twice.
Well, yeah, that's true. He gets props for that for sure.
Right? Not
Yeah.
one, but twice.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't really age quite as well as J-Lo did either. So it's good for him.
What has he been in recently? I don't know.
What I was gonna say is that I just don't particularly like him as an actor. He's not my favorite actor, but
Oh.
he writes a lot of stuff. He's a director, a producer. He's made a ton of movies. He and Matt Damon, that's how they got famous together. They were kids growing up in Boston together and made their first movie and became superstars. Yeah. Good Will Hunting, right?
Great movie.
Well,
Great Will Hunting.
All right. Great will hunting. So, all right. There you go. Well, we asked a question already.
I'm
that's
sorry. I
fun.
was just
I
really
like it.
wondering
No,
that.
I like it. I like it. We said at the beginning, or maybe before we started, but we said to each other that we were going to have a sort of laid back, no pressure sort of. Not that there's usually a lot of pressure, but
No, Bob, there's always a lot of
easy
pressure.
going tonight.
Go
right?
watch all of our other episodes, everybody. So much pressure every time.
Yeah, so much pressure. Such a
We
tight ship,
Nail it.
tightly
Yeah.
run the ship that
2, 3.
Well,
Mhm.
you
I'm
know,
not sure. That's so funny.
I'm
So anyway,
taking
well,
that
Oh.
follow the leaf on the string.
Follow
There you
the leaf in my apartment because somebody bought a fucking palm tree, not knowing it was a palm tree when I bought it. But now I have an
you
indoor
didn't know it
palm
was,
tree.
you didn't say that part.
I didn't look
You
at the
didn't know.
tag, Bob. I'm me.
Well,
You
how would
gotta
you think
tell
it-
the
did you-
fans what you did with this palm tree because you talked about it before.
What did I do? What?
They don't know why you bought this palm tree.
They do know last week I said I was gonna buy a
Oh.
tree though for the apartment,
Right.
like for the Christmas things. But then I realized that my lovely girlfriend over here, and probably Bob as well, don't believe in killing trees and cutting them down and putting dead things in your apartment. So
Right.
when I was like, I'm gonna go buy a Christmas tree because everybody knows I love Christmas, I was like, oh wait, I should buy something that will stay alive in my apartment rather than die
Right.
and then shed all of its skin stuff all over my apartment. And then what me and my mom like to do is throw Christmas trees over balconies when we're done with them so we don't have to carry them outside. So I will miss that part because I'm not throwing this over my 4-story balcony because usually we have Christmas in my apartment. So it's
Okay.
like, okay, we're done unwrapping presents now. Let's throw the tree over the
You
balcony.
mean Christmas Day that you
Yeah.
pick up the tree and throw it
I'm
out at the
over it.
window.
I'm
I mean,
over
it
it.
That's
would be
insane.
worth it just for that experience. I see your point. I would like the Christmas
fun.
tree just to throw it off four-story building.
Now,
I'm not
does
gonna
someone
make-
does someone go and pick up the trees, or
Yeah,
is there
'cause
like
I'm
a
trying to-
stack of like 20 Christmas trees
Like
outside your
along the
window?
building.
No. Of course, we go down and put it in like the
Oh, all right.
garbage.
Well, that's
dump.
good. I'm just checking.
Yeah.
You should just
Could be a
leave
fire
it,
hazard.
see what happens.
I mean, if it was up to me, I would just leave it. If no one saw me do it, it's like, who threw the Christmas tree? Not me.
That's funny. I got to change my screen over since we did the little your movie there, Surviving Christmas. I've had James Gandolfini staring at me, so I've
Oh, well, that does not feel comfortable.
no. So,
But yeah, so I got this because I am a good boy. And I don't want dead things in my apartment anymore.
but I get what I don't understand, Kilo, is when you
No,
say you, the
I-
person who lives in Los Angeles, how did you not know that you were buying a palm tree, or did
I
you think it
didn't
was
know.
a fern? I mean, what
I
did
didn't-
you think you were
Hey,
buying?
Bob, hey. How
I mean-
often do I seem like someone who pays attention to what's
I'm
going
just
on?
saying, you look out your window, there are palm trees literally right
There's a
there
palm
outside
tree.
your
There's
window.
literally a palm tree right beside it.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen the
And
picture.
every single time there's wind, I feel like it's going, please let me in, sir. You have another one of these.
Something's for the pool.
Yeah, it's like knocking on it, like, please, there's one inside
You
now.
do this
Please
is
bring it in."
subconsciously because,
To torture
know.
myself. What?
yeah, well, I think, yeah.
Now I did hang Christmas balls on it, but then it started drooping, like, and I was like, nope.
Now it's
I
talking to
took them all off.
My favorite is when you came back with the tree. It was like this whole thing. I was like, really? This happened? I was like, where's the Christmas tree? Here
It
it
is
is.
a Christmas. It looks better than it looks right now. Hold on. It's like bigger than you would think. I didn't know that they make indoor palm trees, bro. It was on the indoor section, so
Right.
I-
Well, it's sure. It's clearly an indoor
Oh.
tree. It's in a pot, but I'm
I
just
put
saying
it in the
it's also
pot,
clearly a
Bob.
palm tree.
I put it in the pot.
You put it in the pot.
It didn't come with a pot. I bought a pot and put it in a pot.
So it was in like a bag or something, some sort of burlap sack.
Okay, it was in a plastic pot like this.
Burlap sack.
Yes, Bob, I
You
bought
do
the
that. I don't,
tree in a burlap sack.
well, no, I'm saying
Well,
you do things like that. I got a haircut today, and I'm uncomfortable with it.
Oh, you gotta let it grow in a little. Just a little.
You gotta let it go, Bob. You gotta let it go.
I know it looked better before I touched it. All right. Anyway,
I
continue.
have a follow-up Christmas question.
Perfect.
Perfect.
What was your favorite gift that you've gotten?
What, like ever?
No, for Christmas.
Yeah, but I mean, like
Yeah.
any.
It's like ever.
Well, not like birthday. Yeah, a Christmas, whatever. Yeah, what's your favorite Christmas gift that you've ever gotten? Or if that's too hard, what about the best Christmas gift that you've given?
Right.
Well,
Well, I'll answer. That was gonna say I had two answers for the best present, right? Because there'd be like best present when you're a kid, and then the best present as an adult. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm
right?
still
So-
a kid, Bob.
Yeah,
on
well,
the
there you go. I am definitely not. So a kid at heart, though, right? So anyway, basically everything around surrounding me. Most of my cool guitars, Sarah, my girlfriend, bought for me for Christmas.
Really?
Different years. Like so like that was this one that I play all the time. This little, it's an Ibanez, but it's an Ibanez version of like a Gibson hollow body. And like a jazz guitar. I love it. I play that one constantly. So that was like 2 years ago. There was a steel guitar up there, was a birthday present. But then just like the dobro there was a Christmas present, and my Les Paul back there was a Christmas present. So there you go.
I like Les Paul.
Yeah, so my favorite Christmas presents as an adult were the guitars that my wonderful girlfriend purchased for me. And then as a child or as a teenager, my dad got me he got me my first guitar. So there you go. It's always guitars. I was going to say a scooter because I had a Honda scooter when I was like 15, 16 that I thought was really awesome. But really probably my guitars. So my first guitar from when I was a kid, and then these guitars as an adult.
Nice. So Christmas is Bob's guitar giving.
Yeah, exactly.
Receival.
Definitely.
Nice.
You, Kilo?
I'm having a hard time thinking of things like that, but I will give my own version of this answer, right? So, on the Christmas of 2015, I think it was, I was out here in LA. I had no family around, so my parents flew out to visit me, and the new Star Wars had just come out. And so what I'm saying is this is my favorite Christmas that I've
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
So,
that counts.
like, right. So they fly out to visit, and then I had already seen the new Star Wars when it had just come out. This is when they revamped like the Star Wars franchise. So
right.
It's like
No, yeah, this is
one
the Force. The resident geek will clarify, right? You're talking about the Force Awakens, the episode 7, episode 7, the Force
I
Awakens.
saw it on opening night with Joel, who'd been on our podcast, and that was like my last day of official schooling at Icon. So I was like, oh my God. So I went to see it like right with the very first moment it was out. But I just remember like my family's in town. And then we went out to eat at this nice Italian restaurant that's in downtown Burbank that no longer exists. Probably because they had like a cow as a logo, and that has nothing to do with Italian food. So you wouldn't even know what it was. And it was called something like deli or something, yet it was an Italian restaurant, which made no sense.
Well, it's because they're doing a playoff, because Italians are always like, go to the deli.
Right.
It's an
Okay.
Italian. Yeah.
Well, apparently people in California did not understand that. But we went to it, and then we got to go to like the new Star Wars movie. It was just really cool. Yeah, I call it my Star Wars Christmas. So like that was the best Christmas I've ever had.
That's
And then you
fantastic.
have a Star Wars remix.
Yes, and that actually came out the next year. No, yes, the next year. Mhm.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well,
So
that's
what
awesome.
what about you, Alex?
Mine is when I was a kid. Do you guys remember that cartoon Animaniacs? Was it Animaniacs?
Oh, yeah.
I love the Animaniacs.
Maybe it wasn't Animaniacs. It's whichever cartoon had Babs and Buster Bunny. It was like,
That's not the end.
okay, it wasn't Animaniac.
No?
Whatever.
Okay. I don't
Whoever
know.
was
No,
Babs
wait.
and Buster Bunny.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Right. Yes.
I was obsessed with Babs and Buster Bunny. I wanted them to be like, I wanted to be them, and I wanted to be Babs Bunny. So I was like, please. And then I got them, and I just carried them around everywhere. And I was just like, I'm Babs Bunny. And I was forever looking for my Buster. And I found him. So,
What's
there you
funny?
go.
I love that show, and I've seen every episode, and I had Yakko or whatever, like the littler brother of the three.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a
yeah.
kid. I still have him somewhere, probably not in my apartment. But and I yet have not heard very many people talk about them. Like the show is based in Burbank. Like it's
Oh yeah, because the
Oh
one
yeah, no, Animaniacs is huge,
Yeah.
dude. They
Yeah.
brought him back like last year.
What?
They make new Animaniacs now. Yeah.
Oh,
That's like, I
awesome.
mean, I think
my life
Steven,
gets better every single day.
yeah, I mean, I think Steven Spielberg makes the Animaniacs, doesn't he?
I love him.
And
Yeah,
I
mean-
I always
Oh, I should have
loved
said him instead of Steve Jobs.
the what is it? The Pinky and the Brain. Love
Yeah.
My
Pinky
mom
and
calls
the
me
Brain.
Pinky and the Brain because she's like, you can be very, very smart and you can be very, very dumb. I'm like, no.
Here's
Well,
the real question I've always wondered ever since I was a kid. Who is the real smart one in Pinky and the Brain?
That's
Right?
the whole
Because
thing.
the
Right, there you go.
brain thinks he's doing a bunch of shit that's going to take over the world that the other guy literally knows is not going to work. And so he acts dumb, but
Mhm.
is he really the dumb one, or is the one who thinks he's going to take over the world every episode the dumb
And
one?
then
there you go.
what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting
Yeah,
different
it's
results.
so clever. I hope to God that I get to be a part of some kind of cartoon before I die. I want to be a
Yeah.
voice.
That's
I want
gonna
to write
happen.
some. I just want to be a part of a cartoon so badly.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I mean, you guys know how I feel about
99.99.
cartoons.
Oh yes. What's your favorite cartoon, Bob?
Well,
Ooh, there's a great question.
my favorite cartoon is Futurama. I've got Futurama's there, you know, a big, a big. Here's my bender right here.
Kitty?
Ben-
Oh no.
There's a little bender.
Oh,
There's Futurama stuff all over this room. I love Futurama. And I've met most of the actors on Futurama, including Maurice LaMarche, who plays a whole bunch of characters on Futurama. He's Morbo. He plays Kiff. He just plays tons of characters on Futurama. And he plays Lur, ruler of Omicron Persei. And but anyway, he is also the voice of the Brain, and I met him. I have his autograph.
No
back
way.
there. Yeah, I met him. I've met Billy West, who is half the character. He's Fry. He's a professor. He's Zoidberg. He's like most of the characters on Futurama, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I think he's a couple of the Animaniacs. He did most of the voices on the first Space Jam movie, and I met him like 3 times because they all go to Comic-Con. You know, so I used to go to Comic-Con every year until COVID. You know?
Yes.
I used to go when it wasn't cool, which we probably went before it became super trendy and before everyone did cosplay and stuff. And I
Mhm.
remember it was like no one there. So you can actually go and meet everybody.
Yeah, I met a lot of cool people. I've got William Shatner's autograph back there. I met him. I've met as far as Futurama goes, I've met most of the characters. I met John DiMaggio, who's Bender, and I've met Billy West, who, like I said, is Fry and Professor and a whole bunch of people. I met Maurice LaMarche, who's Kiff and Morbo. I met Tress McNeil, who is basically most of the female characters on the show. You know, she does like she does a lot of Simpsons characters too, tons of them. And then I met Phil LaMarr, who is Hermes, and also and the great thing is Phil LaMarr. Do you remember Pulp Fiction?
Yes,
and
course.
so you know when
We don't remember Pulp Fiction, bro.
right,
We
exactly.
know
Well,
the
the specific, yeah, right.
now.
There's a
Immediately.
specific scene in Pulp Fiction when they've got you got John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson are they're in the front seat, they're driving along, and they got the kid in the back seat, and I forgot his name, but they're like talking to him, they're shut up, and he's got a gun on him, and they hit it and they blow his head off.
Oh, I love that part.
The guy they blow,
Not
that
even
guy,
Ron.
that's Phil LaMarr, who is Hermes on Futurama, and a whole
Nice.
bunch of other stuff too. So I met him before. He was cool. He was very cool, actually.
So I brought show and tell so I can answer both of your questions. Actually, technically, I'm going to say what my favorite present I've ever had would be this Pink Panther record that somebody I know bought me for my birthday this year, which is Bob. But
Nice.
Pink Panther would be my favorite cartoon. So
Yes.
That's
like-
a great one. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
classic.
why I think of music more when I see like visual aid, because like I grew up just watching I think I only had one tape, VHS tape of it, but I watched it over and over all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's a
Watch
great
that.
album too, man. I mean, that's a classic jazz album, Henry Mancini.
that's probably why I like jazz.
Yeah, that's
because
great stuff right
That music really molded my brain into music
Yeah.
and funny shit happening at the same time.
there. That's awesome, man.
If you really think
Kind
about
of a jazz-esque approach to EDM production in many ways.
I think I do, because also like the kind of metal that I played supposedly is like based off of like jazz, not rock. So
Right.
like the way the like melodies and the chords
how
are
you-
put
yeah.
together.
Well, and you said you guys did a lot of improvisation too, right?
Oh, for
I mean,
sure.
that's jazz. I mean, you don't do improv much in metal
Yeah.
unless you're not really playing metal.
Yeah.
Metal's very regimented, you know? So-
As we sit here, I realize that basically everything I do in music is kind of revolves around Pink Panther. Like that's why my brain thinks
Roger
like-
Miller, it's Roger Miller and the Pink Panther, right?
Right, because when you think about it, that's why I take everything as like a funny thing when I'm writing music. Like I'm
Right,
always
yeah.
thinking like, how can it be fun? Not like I gotta make this or that.
Mhm.
Like because everybody knows like I make music and I'm an idiot. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
silly on purpose.
I just agreed. Yeah, you're an idiot. No, you're not an idiot.
Bob, you out of anybody know how much of an idiot I am sometimes.
Well, we like that. We like to have fun. That's for sure. You want to see something? You want to speak of something fun?
Yes, please.
When we were talking about the Christmas presents, and I mentioned when my dad bought me my first guitar, there I am.
Oh my God,
That's
Oh yeah, I love this picture.
Christmas Day, 1986, right there.
that hair.
85.
I love that
85,
couch.
86. I don't
I
remember.
want that couch. Probably
But
not.
the best is the glass Pepsi bottle.
Pepsi.
So there's two. There's what, and then not Diet Pepsi. I would never drink soda with sugar in it now. I mean, I would
Oh,
just
yeah.
that grosses me out the thought of it. But
Can't
back
even-
then, I was fueled by sugar.
That's a good thing to point out. I actually don't like sugary drinks. It's
I
one
don't-
thing that, like grosses me out. It feels
Yeah.
slimy and gross, and I don't want it in my mouth or in my body.
Yeah. Well, I like. I mean, I like my little vegan candy bars all the time because I'm obsessed with them. But as far as beverages go, I don't put sugar in anything. I drink
Right.
coffee,
What
black,
about-
no sugar. I drink it all day long. So-
I'd be like ADD times a million if I drank a regular like soda.
yeah.
Zero cocoa, I'd be like,
Yes, you would. I have got to agree with that. Alex, what's your favorite cartoon?
I just text Bob a photo of me as a kid at Christmas.
Oh, so you want me to put that up on the screen?
Yeah.
All
It was
right.
just
Well,
two of
yeah.
my-
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Mm.
My favorite cartoon. I mean, I really liked Babs and Buster Bunny, but it's hard because I'm a huge Disney fan. So I was obsessed with The Little Mermaid, and I told you this story. I used to go to sleep with my legs crossed, thinking that if I woke up in the morning, I'd have fins.
But
just-
then what would happen, dear? Like you'd be riding around in a scooter like me, because where are you gonna go? Were you manifesting water around?
I
you?
was manifesting you my whole life, and I had no idea.
We already know this for sure.
I don't know. But I didn't that. And then when I got older, which I probably was too old to watch the cartoon, but I really just wanted to do it, was that show Recess. I like
Oh,
that. show.
I love Recess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
I don't know
yeah.
what that is. I've never heard of that.
I like the
You would
old
actually
school
kinda
ones.
like it.
Huckleberry Hound was my favorite one. I used to sketch him in my notebook all the time.
Huckleberry Hound. Yeah, now you're
I
talking.
love
about it.
him.
Right.
Oh, and I definitely have got to say I love oh fuck. I don't remember his name now.
Tom and Jerry. I had a cat
Mm.
that looked like Tom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry's great.
Yeah,
What's the one bunny? The one that's
Bugs-
like
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny. Yes, I love Bugs
Well,
Bunny.
yeah.
I feel like he is my soul animal because he is the trolliest troll in the world.
Oh yeah, no, he's the best.
He is
So yeah,
me
like
on the inside.
right.
I don't
See,
remember.
when once in a while, I show my age, and like so for me, cartoons were the 70s and 80s Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, like the stuff you're talking about, that was the world of cartoons. And there was only, so you had like, there were 3 channels anybody watched.
Yeah.
And every Saturday, from like 8 a.m. to like 2 p.m., there would just be this massive block of cartoons. And depending on which network you watched, it'd be Hanna-Barbera or Warner Brothers. Like, so that's, the difference in like Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny, right? So, but they'd be all day long playing, and it was just until like 2 o'clock or noon or whatever, sometime in the afternoon, and then they would switch to golf. And then just like, and then there would be like golf for like,
now everybody gets to be bored.
It's so funny. Yeah. Golf would be on for like 6 hours. So then you go out to play, you know what I mean? So you just get jazzed up on sugar for like, for like 4 hours watching cartoons, and you're like, okay, let's go, and then it's Saturday. So, but anyway, so those cartoons, those are my life. I love them.
There's so many. So I feel like, is it just a sign of us getting older when we're like, they had such good cartoons back then? Is that like a sign of me getting older?
Well, no, I mean, you asked
just better cartoons.
No, you asked me my favorite cartoon, and it's on, it's a current modern day show.
Oh,
I mean, Futurama coming back in 2023, by the way, which is very exciting. It's my favorite.
Did either of you ever see the Star Trek cartoon series?
I don't know if I
Oh,
can.
yeah. Yeah, and it had, it was after the original series canceled, and before they did anything else, they actually did an animated series, and it was all the original characters.
It's really
it's awesome. Yeah, it's just like Star Trek. It's like the same people made it and acted in it, and they just had a smaller budget.
I was almost going to say that was my favorite, but I didn't have a prop for that. But I did have a Pink Panther prop. So
I think they lasted like one season. I think the animated show.
But it's a lot of episodes, and it's really good.
Awesome.
I'm not good with watching cartoons when it's not. I don't know how to say it. Like when there isn't like a lot of energy to it. Like I like when it's like bouncy and like. But when it's like
the Animaniacs.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
When it's a little more serious, there's something that happens. My brain starts to feel like a disconnect. I'm like, it shouldn't be like this.
You would like it. I know you would like it. It's actually really good because it's like they can tell certain stories that would be harder to do, like in the real people version. Like there's one about like that like explains God to this whole planet. Like it's amazing. That one episode. I don't know if Bob knows which episode I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah. I think I have watched the animated thing a few times, but not in many years. I got to watch it again.
We should. I want to do the map because the map makes you skip through all the different. Well, I guess there's a million different maps that we can do.
What map are we talking about?
I know the Star Trek. They have
what?
they have different maps, but you know how like different seasons, it time jumps. So you can find a map online, and it depends.
Oh, like the actual timeline of when everything happened. I mean, I can tell you, I know which one's first, second, first, right? So like the earliest. Well, now it's different because you've got Discovery.
Right.
But I still think I think it still goes. The earliest would be Enterprise. That's the Scott Bakula one, and then after Scott Bakula would be probably Discovery, and then after because Spock is young in Discovery, and then after Discovery would be the new one with Christopher Pike as the captain of that one's awesome. What is it? Final Frontier, something like that. I forget.
Are you talking about the newest one?
Yeah.
I just want to be in that too.
That one's fantastic. And then it would be the original series, and then on down the line, I guess, like Next Generation and Discovery and so on and so forth.
Well, now I'm going to ask a question. Who's your favorite Star Trek character?
I think we have.
Okay. Are you asking me? Well, you know what's cool? I'm wearing the shirt.
Can't
You
see.
can see it. I'm wearing my
live long and prosper.
Yeah. I don't have the light here. Let's see. Maybe I can do that.
Not, by the way, Alex, I'm
There you
not
go.
saying who would you be. I'm saying who's
Live
your
long and prosper. No, I know, but you asked me who my favorite Star Trek character was. That would be him.
Okay.
Spock.
As long as it's easy, mine's played out. I
your-
love Captain Picard. I love him so
Oh,
much.
Picard's awesome. Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's like I love my dad. Sorry, Dad, but it's like I want him as my dad. Like I want my dad too. I just want two dads. I want him as, or maybe he can be like my grandpa. I mean, how old is he?
He's very old. He's like,
Okay,
he's
I want
closing
him as
on
my
90.
grandpa.
Yeah, he's
So cool.
fantastic, man. Do you watch? You must have watched the Picard series then, because
I have
Picard is
not.
awesome.
No,
Oh
I'm
my
waiting.
God.
So
Yeah,
I'm with
watch
you.
Picard. It's
Don't
fantastic.
worry. Don't worry. We will watch it.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't watch certain series. We're going to watch them together.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. You guys will enjoy Picard. It's fantastic. So,
Mhm. I
well, right
think
on.
my favorite character's name is Data. I'm not sure. He's like
Oh,
the,
I love
Data,
Data
yeah,
too.
Data's
like the
fantastic,
skin is
yeah.
like I haven't seen those ones for years and years and years. But
Mhm.
if I remember correctly, Data's like an AI, right?
He's an android.
Yeah, he's an android. He's very advanced. He's one of a kind. There are no other androids like him.
Yes,
He's got a
that's why I like him.
positronic brain
I
Yeah.
love him
that
because
is
it's like
fully capable.
wants to feel like he might be able to feel normal, but then
Yeah,
he's not normal, and he's not normal to the AI or to humans. So he's like this
Mhm.
weird crossbreed thing.
Yeah, Data is probably the most important character in Next Generation.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, really, because he like saves the world numerous times, and
Yep.
basically, and when he dies, he does it again. You know what I mean? He sacrifices himself for everybody.
I love it.
Yeah.
And on that note, what I want to ask everybody what their favorite episode is, which that'll go down a rabbit trail, so I'm not going to do that. But my favorite is that like one part where Captain Picard gets like taken into, like his mind gets taken over by those bad
Oh, yeah.
the
Cyborgs.
Oh, the Borg. He becomes
becomes
a Borg. He becomes.
in the end of that fucking episode, he shed one fucking tear, and I bawled my eyes out.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was Locutus. He was Locutus of Borg, and he was
Yes.
supposed to be the conduit, the connection between the Borgs and the humans.
Mhm.
And he ended up basically he not him personally, but his memories, his knowledge was responsible for what was known as the massacre at Wolf 359, where they killed like
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
Federation. And it was all because they had Picard's thoughts. So it was very sad. That's why he cried. And then
So,
that's why if you watch Deep Space Nine,
Okay,
Benjamin
that
Sisko
one, I love Deep
was
Space Nine.
great. Yeah,
might
well,
be
that one starts.
It might be my favorite of
Mhm.
all of them. I love Deep Space Nine.
It's awesome. That
Mhm.
one, the premise of that one is that Benjamin Sisko is there because his wife was killed at 359, Will 359, and he hates Picard because of it. But they bury the hatchet in like the first
Mhm.
episode.
which is another, like that series was so much around morals, and I mean the whole thing is, but I think that they went a little deeper into it.
Yeah. Well, they got into religion and everything.
Yeah,
you know,
religion.
and what was religion? You know, Benjamin Sisko turned out to be this big oracle for the
Right.
people, and he really was. But
Mhm.
was it religion or was it science? I mean, he was
Right.
from his perspective, he was talking to aliens that lived in a wormhole. But to the Bajorans, he was talking to God. You know, and what's the difference? You know.
What
Yeah.
what was the name of his best friend who had the trill, who was the old man, and then she was
Oh yeah,
really pretty. What was her name?
Dax.
Dax.
Jadzia Dax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this stuff way too well.
I love it.
We all love it. That's why we all get along.
I
That's
know.
great.
The only one I
know.
don't like is like what's it called? The Lower Deck or whatever, that funny one.
Oh, the cartoon. Yeah, I watched a couple episodes. I mean,
It
it's silly.
doesn't get me in the right place. It's just like,
No.
oh, let's just take like Futurama or Family Guy type of thing and then put Star
Oh,
Trek
do
on
not
it.
compare Futurama and Family Guy.
No, I'm not saying they're doing a good job of it. They're just taking like, let's be idiots and then put
Right.
Star Trek on it.
Right. I got you. I can't
Don't worry,
stand
Bob.
Family Guy.
Don't
I
worry.
know, and if you, I mean, Family Guy's just like, you know, a bunch of fart jokes. You know what I mean? If Futurama is
I don't
like,
like
you know,
Family Guy.
and then Futurama is written by like math and physics PhDs. I mean, it's a brilliant like.
Really? Wait, I haven't
Yeah.
really watched it.
Oh yeah. The guys that run that are literal, like they've got one episode. It's the what's the episode? It's the Prisoner of Benda. And anyway, in this episode, they figure out how to. It's not Prisoner Bend. I don't remember. I think it is actually. But anyway, they figure out this math of like how to swap bodies around, blah blah blah. But the math is so advanced that actually it's like it was published in scientific journals and it's taught in colleges now. It's called the Futurama. It's the Futurama theorem or something like that.
No,
Yeah,
really?
it's a real
That's
deal. Yeah,
badass.
because these
I
are
love
real
that.
deal scientists that actually write the show, and so
Yeah.
it's like ridiculous, but all the ridiculousness is based on actual like physics and math. It's really awesome, really cool stuff. And they put little Easter eggs all over the place all the time about like either kind of kitschy sci-fi stuff, like I like the poster stuff, or also like real deep, like whenever if you see things like on the wall where it's like a language that you can't decipher, there's a real language that they wrote for the show.
Like,
you know what I mean? And if you see math anywhere, like if they got chalkboards where they're doing math, it's real. Like it's real high-end math that the mathematicians that write the show put on there. It's really cool.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to watch that now. Because last time I kind of have like a sweet, what is it called? Like not love hate. Like a really good friend of mine, musician, he passed away. So the 2 days before he died, we watched an episode of that. So I never wanted to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I get that.
But I feel like, love you, Danny. Maybe it's time to bring it back.
Well, I mean, if he loved it, there must be a reason. And watch it again.
He's the first person to teach me what Buddhism was.
Oh, there you go. Right on. Rock on, Danny.
Mm-hmm. So I have these cards, guys.
That's good.
Okay. Oh, yeah, done.
Let's go for it.
Hello, my babe.
Yes.
Tell me when to stop.
What? Oh, well, oh, yeah. What did I just get?
Are you ordering on Amazon?
No, I just
got a picture that
More just got it.
Oh yeah, you don't have to show that now. Now we're past the Christmas stories.
Okay, let's see.
Watching your
I'm
blog.
still watching, don't worry.
Okay, I just got a text from my friend who I believe is my friend Jocelyn. Jacqueline. I mean, Jacqueline. I just said it wrong, but I'm reading something that made me say that.
Okay, dear, stop.
All right. Well, let me see this. I don't know. I'm not sure if I should even
Keep
do
going. Okay. Don't read it out loud just in case something bad happens.
No, well, she said they're watching. I could just ask.
Thank you.
Let me do that.
That one,
Well,
please.
that
one.
it's
Yeah.
This
just-
one? Okay, well, Jocelyn, we are doing music oracle cards, and it's something
No, Jacqueline, not Jocelyn.
Jacqueline. Sorry, Jacqueline.
No,
If a guy gets a girl's name wrong, they get slapped.
No, I know. No, the reason
I've
I'm
never met
asking.
her, so hopefully I get a pass. Should we pull one for Jacqueline?
Yes.
I think we
Let me
should.
See, yeah, sure.
I
Yeah.
think we
We're
should.
gonna do it.
The reason she texted and said that my friend Moore is like got some
Hero, help me.
copyright for.
Let's pick one for Jacqueline. This is
Okay.
Jacqueline's music spirit guide.
that front one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just texted with her. So anyway, she's watching.
Okay,
so I'm
Jacqueline, we
gonna-
have a spirit guide for you.
Jacqueline now has a spirit guide. All right. cool.
Yes.
Only for doing the podcast, though.
Yeah.
Don't- It's not forever.
Bob,
Yeah. Yes.
tell me when to
It better
stop.
be Bob. She said it better be Bob. That's funny.
Oh. Well, there is a Bob in there.
Yeah. I think she means me.
Bob, tell her when to stop. Okay.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
Yes.
Stop. I was talking to our guest here, our guest on the show.
Okay.
Um, How about the very top one? That was the very top. There you go. That guy.
How about you just send Jacqueline a link and she can be a guest on the show? There we go.
All right. Yeah, let's do that.
Hell
I'm gonna
to
do it.
the
I don't know if
yeah.
she'll do it. She might say no, but let's see. How do we do that? Oh, Jesus. I gotta. No, she just said no.
Oh man.
All right.
Never mind.
She gets
We're not
a
gonna do that.
spotlight. She gets a spotlight. So should we reveal her first?
Well, did you pick yours?
Yeah, I picked mine. Yes. Okay, Jacqueline, this is your music spirit guide. Oh, I don't know who this woman is, but she looks great. Maria Callas.
Oh, I
Oh,
like
okay. She's an opera singer.
There we go.
Yeah.
She
Very
says, compromise is the enemy of perfection. Befriend your inner serpent. You cannot survive on sensation alone. Ooh, I want her.
Wow.
That is
Okay.
that is very deep.
Badass. She's very divine femme. Obviously, Jacqueline and I would be friends. Obviously.
Also,
Jacqueline's
if you have
very
a
cool. You would
serpent
wanna be
inside
friends
of
with
you,
Jacqueline.
you need to go see a doctor now.
No, it's like the Kundalini.
Who
Oh.
has to go to a doctor? What are you doing?
The
So,
Kundalini.
so
Kundalini lies.
The Kundalini.
all right. Okay,
Okay.
hold on. Well, you don't have to hold on. I want to ask if I can show let me see.
Okay.
Wow, cool. I will look that up. That's what Jacqueline said.
Yes. Oh, I'm
What about
forgetting.
going to the doctor because of a snake inside of you? What?
What'd you say?
Nothing, Bob.
Oh, Lord. Lord have mercy.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's pick Bob's. Bob's
Handful.
music spirit guide for today is drumroll, Tibetan third singing. Barbara Streisand.
All right. Haven't
That
I
makes
had Barbara
perfect sense.
before?
No,
I love
No,
Barbara.
I've had
we
her.
had Barbara.
Yes,
It
you can show
says-
the character.
says,
It's copyright. All right. All right.
Get your mellow roll for 5
Well,
seconds.
okay. While we're talking about Barbara, so I want to show the reason Jacqueline has been texting me while we're on here is because she was saying my friend. So I should say who Jacqueline is. So one of my best friends in the whole world is my buddy Mort, and he grew up in the house behind mine, and I grew up in the house behind his. So we've been literally friends since we were 5 years old, and I just love him dearly. And anyway, he apparently Mort the thing about Mort is Mort can do anything, and he's probably watching right now going, "Oh, Bob always says this crap." But I mean, like, it's just like you're just kind of like, "Hey, Mort, what's going on?" Well, I learned how to grow bonsai trees. Who the hell knows how to grow bonsai trees?
That's
Mort
how I
does.
feel about Joel.
What'd you do this weekend, Mort? I was in a motorcycle race. You know what I mean? That's who Mort is.
Yeah.
I just climbed a mountain, rock face of 1,000 feet, whatever. He's just Mort. So anyway, apparently Mort now has a copyright on a cartoon character, and I'll show it. I was just given permission to show it. So,
Oh, do you need
That's
a voice
not
for
it.
it? Because
Not
I
that.
really want to be a voice.
okay. Well, I'm not going to negotiate anything here while I'm texting and doing a podcast thing, but I just want to show the picture.
Bring up
Okay.
the photo and I'll just do a voice.
Well, yeah. What's that? No, well, I was trying to do it so that I could. Okay.
Yes, we're excited.
You see it?
Ah, squish.
Skosh. So,
Gosh.
so now,
That is very
so
cool.
that's a copyrighted image. So just in case anybody wants to know, but Mort Batchelder, my dear friend, and Mort killed the bonsai tree I got him last year for Christmas. So Jacqueline's setting a level here a little bit when I make Mort sound like a superhero. So she says, well, he killed the bonsai tree.
He didn't
So-
need it anymore. He had more things to take care of, like
He also, by the way, the same guy that got a copyright for this character also, the first time he sat down behind a drum set, knew how to play. That's a true story. We recorded him the day he learned how to play drums. And I was like, how do you know how to play drums? He's like, I play in the car. He just sits down and starts playing
Must
drums.
have been a drummer.
Don't blaze,
in
yeah.
last night.
So there you go. Scoosh. So there you go. That's Scoosh.
That's very cool.
And and more to come, I guess. So my friend Mort, who can do anything, is now a cartoonist. So rock on.
And I love that his name's Mort. Like,
Morton Kenneth Batchelder Jr.
so badass. Like, he sounds as if he is a walking, talking encyclopedia.
Badass dude.
Cool,
All
cool.
right.
Woo! Well, Barbara
So
Streisand.
has three. I
Like,
think there are
you're a
you,
badass.
Mike. Oh, that's awesome. Oh,
Make
that's
it till you
nice.
make it, Bob. It's easy to fool yourself, but hard to fool an audience. If you can't go right to the top, find somewhere else to go. That's what
The
she
top
says.
of what?
This is what Barbara said to me.
That's what Barbara said to you.
Yes, Bob, directly to your face.
Did you know that? I probably say this every time we talk about Barbara Streisand, but did you know that Barbara Streisand and Neil Diamond went to high school together? They're lifelong friends.
If you said that, I don't remember.
Yeah, they went to the same high school in Brooklyn. They grew up together, and they're the same age. So they literally have been friends their entire lives. Two of the greatest and most famous singers of all time, and songwriters of all time, actors, everything. They grew up in the same neighborhood.
Do you know that she has a film called Sound and Color? and she wrote it, directed it, she produced it, she
Mhm.
did set she did every single freaking role, and it's like,
Yeah, no, she's amazing. That's what I'm saying. Like that, one of the few people that can compare to the awesomeness of Barbara Streisand is Neil Diamond, who does like a billion things himself too. He's also like a painter and an author and everything else, and he's written some of the greatest pop songs of all time and rock songs of all time. And like I said, they grew up together. It's crazy to me. Something in the water in Brooklyn, I guess.
mhm.
So where are we with the question?
We're with Kilo.
Doing the cards now, Bob.
Okay,
That's-
I'm gonna do best for last. I'm gonna do, we're all equal, but I'll do you last, Kilo.
You're gonna do what? Okay, yes. Sorry.
Good Christian boy. Okay,
Very good Christian boy.
wink. Okay, I got Grace Jones. I'm definitely Grace
Oh,
Jones today.
Grace Jones is badass. So you're Grace Jones?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, very cool. Great, Grace
I
Jones.
get if I get fucking what's Johnny Cash again or whatever.
Oh, no.
No, well, no, you
Very
need to
like-
get like Arnold Schwarzenegger now. I think she
Sure.
dated Arnold
But you're not
Schwarzenegger for a
musician.
while.
Okay, Grace Jones says,
And Dolph Lundgren.
learn to be your own sugar daddy. Harness the power of an unexploded bomb, always waiting, always ticking. To ensure survival, prey must become hunter. This is very much my energy thoughts.
It's kind of the energy
Jesus.
I'm trying to change, but all right.
Grace Jones is crazy, man.
She
I mean,
is great.
when in
I
her
was-
heyday, I mean, she would like fist fight people. She's like a runway model and a singer and everything else. But if somebody pissed her off, she'd be like, "Oh," she was just nuts.
I was very Grace Jonesy when I was a DJ at one point of my life. I would just be
You were
like,
punching people.
I was crazy, not punching people, but I was not like, I was never like, what's the word? I was never not classy. Like I would never have a fight or anything, but I was definitely someone who was stirring up trouble. And then there would
Right.
be like a little pit of something happening. And I'd be like,
That's funny.
That's funny.
all right, Kilo, my love, this
Yes,
is who is your music oracle. Oh, it's not a bad one. Lennon.
Oh, Leonard Cohen, yeah, that's
That's not
fantastic.
bad at all. I
No, that's excellent.
I love him. So that's
Yes.
very good.
Yeah.
Bob already knows this.
Yeah, Leonard Cohen's fantastic. That's a wonderful. I gotta get some more.
Yeah. Says when it comes to art, all that matters is telling your story well. So
Mhm.
appropriate for you.
Well,
Travel
what-
lightly through the darkness. Learn to live in the intervals between events. This is you today, 100%.
Mhm.
That's cray.
okay,
Right.
read it one more time now that Bob's back because it kind of brings up something me and Alex have been talking about recently about my own brand, actually.
Wait, you want to bring what up back?
Bobby, you are so all over the place, man.
No, you just said. I thought you were saying to bring something back on.
I
the
was
screen.
gonna have her read it again.
Oh, okay.
So that then what I'm explaining will make more sense.
I see.
Okay. It says, when it comes to art, all that matters is telling your story. Travel lightly through the darkness. Learn to live in the intervals between events.
Right. So one thing that I have noticed now that I have this wonderful lady in my life is that even though in my own head, I think I tell my story well through my music and my art, I don't at all, because it seems like I'm just this crazy fuck doing crazy fuck music when really I'm like this deep person who Bob knows and Alexandria knows, but I show none of that through my music. Like in my opinion, except for our new song that's coming out in 2023, like right off the bat called Breathe. Like,
Yeah.
but I think that's a good card for me because like I don't think through the fun of my music I've really shown my story at all. Like I've shown my attitude towards like music, sure, have fun, make things as loud as possible. Right. But that doesn't really describe me as a person,
Well,
like
But
so-
yeah, I mean, I guess that's true, right? But is that the goal, to describe yourself as a person when you make music? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think my music describes me as a person either. I mean, maybe little moments in time sometimes. You know what I mean? But
I think the problem is that I didn't think it wasn't though. I'm not saying I need to necessarily change it or not change it, but like I'm learning people don't live in my head. So when
Right. Yeah. Oh, I get what you're saying.
and
Yeah.
Alexandria know this, like I'll start talking in the middle of a thought, right?
Mhm.
And it'll be like, where the fuck did this come from, sir?
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
you fucking talking? And because I think you guys live in here with me.
Mhm.
And so it's like, and then this, that. So I don't know if it's necessarily that that's the purpose of music,
Yeah.
but it is, if you're doing something unpurposeful, then you might want to think about it, right? Like,
Or it could be, it could, I don't think you should, and I feel like Bob would agree with, I don't think you need to not just create to create. I think that maybe you've done it, and I don't want to speak for you, but it's like, from our conversations, you're realizing that you can do all that, which you've reached at that level.
Right.
And now you're like, okay, so now what can I do something with
Right.
story behind it? Because if people are out there creating, don't stop creating, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I guess
Right,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe the fact that you have a new idea, a new direction for your art doesn't negate the validity of the previous art that you made. You know what I mean? Like you used to do
Oh,
it
yeah,
different
I'm
way, and
not
that was
saying
cool.
that.
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
saying
Yeah.
that.
No,
I'm
I think
just
we're just
saying, like,
clarifying that.
doing everything on like without looking at what it is like, meaning like I may come back and go, yeah, I just want to make that crazy shit and not think about it, but I'm not going to do that. But if I did do that, it's okay because I like looked at it. What's that saying? An something life is not worth living, like an
unexamined life is not worth
right.
living. Yeah.
So meaning like doing your art mindlessly doesn't always come off the way you think it's coming off. And as long as you're doing it from like the right place and you look at why you're doing it, I think you can do almost anything. Maybe not like evil shit, but like my
Right.
point is I'm realizing because of like my life recently and because the card said that is why I'm bringing it up.
And it's and it's Leonard Cohen, and I think
And
that
I
that's a
love
good
him.
point.
He's
Yeah,
one of my
and
favorite artists ever.
and
Yeah.
it's also like, let's be real, you have a story that
That is
you
also a good
very badly, I feel like it was like a no filter for me and you as friends, and then dating and in our relationship, and I feel
What
like
was the no
it's
filter?
very much like you sharing your story of
Right.
your life, so that would
Right.
be a natural extension to your creativity.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
absolutely.
on, man.
I gotta say, everybody, when you meet a wonderful lady like her, your art form changes, even if you don't like
There you go.
consciously do it. You start really like, oh, I wrote like a pretty chord. I wrote like a nice melody that, because when you write authentically, like us three, it comes from inside, right? So whatever, like, so before my insides were full of caffeine and only caffeine, and it was just caffeine and caffeine, and that's what my music was based off of. It was like, rah! And now that it has other things in there, I'm writing stuff without even thinking about it. Like, oh, I want to learn how to, like I asked Bob this week, teach me how to write chords, Bob. And he did a great job. You should actually explain that on the show of the whole 3-part harmony thing.
Okay.
That was amazing.
I'll do quickly anyway. So like one thing, so what Keela and I were talking about, like, Keela writes, he writes bass lines all the time. He writes melodies, beautiful, great melodies, great EDM melodies, some real pretty stuff that we've done. But he was like, but I don't know how to write chords. And I just explained, I was like, a chord is just a 3-part harmony. That's all it is. So if you write a melody, so the key to writing a chord progression for a melody is to learn how to harmonize the scale. And that sounds fancy, and it's not, because all it means is and everything is based on that. So if you learn how to harmonize a major scale, you basically can transpose that into any other key in any other mode. The modes are just different. You start on a different note of the scale. So what all that means is that if you have, so for instance, on the guitar, and it's a key, it'd be better on a keyboard, but you can't see my keyboard, so I'll just do it on the guitar. But on a keyboard, all of the white keys are natural notes. They're no sharps and flats. Those are the black keys. And the reason I point that out is the key of C major is all natural notes. It's just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? So there are no sharps or flats. So it's always best to start on C because it's the easiest. So when you play so a C scale, like when everybody knows do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And that is the major scale. So, and the reason to do it with words is you could transpose that. You could start that do, ra, mi, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, wherever you start it, it's just, that's the key you're in. So if you started on C, that is C, D, E, F, G, up the scale. So to harmonize that scale is easy because you use all natural major scales. And all harmonize the scale means is to put a chord on every note of the scale. So C, D, E, F, G. You have to play the chord with that as your root note. And the reason things are in a key is because all of the notes and all of the chords in that key are also in the major scale or in the scale of that key. So if you're playing a C major scale, when you harmonize when you harmonize the major scale, all you're really doing is saying I'll play a C, right? I'm a little out of tune, but so you got a C chord. That's C, D, C, E, G is a all the major chords are just a triad. It's just 3 notes. So that's what I mean by it's just a 3-part harmony. A triad is 3 notes. 1, 3, 5. That's the C major note chord right there. So anyway, C, and then so to harmonize that scale is to harmonize C, D, E, F. That's your major scale, right? So to harmonize that, you play with C, which is C, E, G, and then you go to D, right? Which is, and then the corresponding chord is D minor, and that is D, A, F. See, no sharps or flats. And you just go up, you go all the way up until you got E minors. Again, it's E, B, G, no sharps or flats. And it's like that all the way up, right? So if you learn how to do that in one key, you can do it in any key. And you can write a song in any key because all you have to do is write songs with those 7 chords and you've got a song in the key of C major.
But you're still saying chord, like what was the breakthrough to me was just looking at it as like a melody that is, instead of using one note, a 3-part harmony.
Right.
I can do that. And the point is like switching the perspective of that was like, oh, it's not this big scary thing called a chord anymore.
That's
like,
right. Exactly.
Just totally flipped it in my head to like, oh, I can do that. I know how to do harmonies and I know how to write melodies. So it's like, I know.
Timing.
Right.
Perfect
And
think about your storytelling. You're thinking about how to add more texture and vastness to your music as you also are adding more texture and vastness
to my life.
Yeah. And the cool thing is once you learn like those that basic kind of stuff that I was just talking about, right? And you realize that you can apply it in like basically any situation, you know what I mean? Other keys are just the major scale started somewhere else, started in a different point in the scale, a different note.
Right.
So like, when you hear the terms like relative major, it means that like A minor is the relative minor of C major. All that means is you play the C major scale, but you started on A and then you're playing at A minor. So anyway, to learn all that stuff, the cool thing about it is that then you can apply that knowledge to and different ways when you're writing, right? So like you're saying, if you're writing a melody and I've got a melody, I want to write chords under it. That's how you do it, right? But I most of the time write chords first, right? I'll write and then come up with a melody that corresponds to the chords that I'm in. So I might write a chord progression and then afterwards figure out what key I'm in. You know what I mean? I might go, oh, okay, wait a minute. That's not really a D minor. That's a D Lydian or whatever it is, and then you play your leads chord, figure out what key to play what scale to play when you do your leads that way. So anyway, I'm boring everyone, but that's how you do it.
No, you're not at all.
Then I write songs off of the chakras. I'm like, what's this song about? Okay, sacral chakra. Let's do it in D.
There you go. Right. Yeah.
We all have.
And you can all, like, that's the thing too. All these things end up being the same thing. It's just like, it's like anything, music, religion, everything else. You take it, a tone is a tone is a tone. So you could say, all my music is in 432 or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's just, okay, that's A flat or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's all the same thing, Keeler and I were joking around the other day because because a lot of the way I describe music theory, most people music nerds would disagree with me and tell me that I'm oversimplifying it, and that like you've when you can't just say that an A natural minor is just the C major scale started on A. It is, but you're not supposed to say that.
Exactly.
Or we talk about like sharps and flats and stuff, like F sharp, like an F sharp and a G flat are the same note, right? So I just always call it F sharp because I just want to, because it's easier. I'm not going to call it G sharp, but a music person would say when you're in certain keys, you have to call it a certain thing. So anyway, there you go. So somebody's watching and getting mad at me. Probably my friend Matt Carl.
Who's getting mad? Oh
It'd
no.
be us if we didn't make someone turn in their seat.
There you go. Right on.
That is true.
All right, so we'll get away from the nerdy stuff for now, or no, not away from nerdy stuff because I'm going to get more nerdy. But I didn't get to ask a question yet, so I was going to ask a question. Have we done all the cards?
We did do all the cards. I have to say that I have a 15-minute for tonight, 15 more minutes tonight, if that's okay with everybody.
If you were, yeah, with tone deafness, like I was. Jacqueline. Oh, Jacqueline says, "I love Alexandria." There you go.
Thanks.
There you go.
So,
And then she said, "And all of you, yeah, us too." I was going to text her back and say thank you, but clearly she's watching. So thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
All right. So anyway, we got one more little quick question, and we'll call it a night, right? All right. What was your favorite video game when you were 12 years old?
how the fuck do I remember when I was 12 years old, Bob? That's a very specific.
Favorite? That's it. That's the whole question.
I'm
Not elaborating.
I'll answer
I'm not giving any rules. Just what's your favorite video? What was your favorite video game when you were 12 years old? You told me to have a question ready. I had one ready. So there you go.
NFL Blitz on the Nintendo 64. The end.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Perfect.
the blitz part was fun. Like the double.
Mhm.
Mhm. Absolutely.
All right.
Or NBA Jam, but probably not that one.
All right.
What about you?
What grade is 12? 6?
Yes.
Yeah, like sixth grade.
I think Nintendo 64 or Golden.
Well, that's a console, right? I mean, don't you have to have
GoldenEye.
Huh?
She said GoldenEye, Bob.
GoldenEye.
Gotta let people
Oh,
talk, man.
I'm sorry, dude. All right. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what that game is though. I've never-
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye?
Like a shooting game. You have to like go
You
around.
don't know what GoldenEye is, Bob. Are
Nah,
you sure?
I'm old, man. My answer
Now
is
we're all
What's yours? What's
Yeah.
yours? A tart.
yeah. Well, yeah. I would say that. I mean, my console was the Atari 2600,
Mhm.
and I was 12 years old in 1982, so it was the birth of video games. That's why I asked the question, because I was thinking about it, because I have all the Atari games on this computer over here. I play it all the time. So my favorite games then would be two of them, Pitfall and Galaxian. Those two were.
Oh, I like Galaxian.
Galaxian is fantastic.
Do you know Barcade in Jersey City? And they have one in Brooklyn, and then they have like it's a chain. It's
I've heard it before. It's like Dave and Buster's kind of thing, right? Where you can drink.
yeah,
and
but
play,
it's only
and play
old
video games.
school.
Oh, okay.
They don't have
cool.
any new school games, so it's
Oh,
all
that's
vintage games.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
I have $100 worth of Barcade coins, and no one will go with me.
That's
no one.
insane.
No,
That's
I
crazy.
was gonna come visit you, but someone told me not to. So I would have gone with you because
It's
I
because
love
I'm
it.
going.
I know.
Yes.
I know the reasoning behind it. Don't worry. But I'm just saying, I would love to play video game at a bar place with you someday.
Okay.
Wow,
thank
isn't that
Sure.
sweet?
God takes everything we say as romantic when that's just a fun thing
Well,
to do.
I mean, come on. You're like, I would love to play a video game with you. Well, I mean, that was
It's
very
very
boyfriend
sweet.
girlfriend.
Shut up,
It's
Bob.
okay.
Shut up.
you. I made a milkshake too, and
You're
I
only
got
on
burgers.
the bus.
There you go.
Can
It's
we
okay.
go? I want to go on a date, like old school date, where it's like get a burger, but like a vegan burger and shake, and then like walk around.
I'm not walking anywhere. That's the only
Okay,
thing
roll around.
I'm not
rock,
gonna
roll.
do. But yeah.
I'll
There's
jump.
some vegan places out here. There's like this famous vegan restaurant called Crossroads that one of my neighbors here owns. He's the head chef, like famous vegan chef guy, and we can go anytime and he'll cook it for us because he's always wanted me to go. when I lived in building 3, he was my direct neighbor, him and his husband. And so like I'm really good friend, or I was really good friends with them. And he's always like, please come to Crossroads. And I'm like, yeah, which I never have done that.
Well, now we have.
Now we have a
There you go.
reason to. And I'm sure he'll be all tickled pink just like Bob is right now with the all. I'm sure he'll be the same way. So
We'll
it'll
get
be
you a Crossroads t-shirt, Bob.
Yeah, no, I'll be out there to check it out. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
I'm,
Bob
I'm
will
vegan
be out
too, so
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm
and
down.
I'm just myself.
Right
Yeah.
on.
My stomach tells me I need to be a vegetarian now because of not feeling good every time I eat meat. So I am a forced to be vegetarian at this point. Not because these two lovely people don't eat meat, but because my stomach decided if we eat meat, we're not going to keep it inside very long. So
I like to pretend that there's a correlation between that expansion thing and food.
what expansion thing?
There could be, well, like, exploring like more textures, the narrative.
Oh yeah, I
meat,
can't.
it
just eat
kind of
potato
seems
chips
like
anymore.
it all kind of goes together, like
Oh.
me
Absolutely.
bitching about living in Yuppieville and hating it now and just wanting to see trees and
100%. Oh yeah, I'm becoming a real boy. I might not walk right away, but you never know.
woohoo!
All right. Well, so we should right. You said you had to cut it, right, Alex? All right. Well, it's been a
It-
pleasure, my
It
friend.
has been fun,
always.
guys. Thank you, whoever
you.
Thank you
watched.
very much. And thank you, Jacqueline,
Bob,
and more.
Bob, big, you have a song releasing tomorrow.
Oh, I do.
Oh yeah,
It's
we
true.
forgot that part.
It's true. Yes. Okay.
Yes, hello.
We'll go out on my new song. How about that?
Nice way to.
Good way to exit. Yeah. So I have a brand new song that will be out in about 3 hours. It is called Only a Snowfall. And I wrote the song a long time ago, a very long time ago, and like 30 years ago. And I never finished it, never published. I was just on a demo that my friends and I made, but I never put it out or anything. So I decided to re-record it. And I'm playing all the instruments, and it's a groovy little tune. So you know what I'll do? Like we did when we started this endeavor this evening, I will bring up the logo. How about
Oh
that?
yeah, great.
All
Is it
right.
now an endeavor, Bob?
What's that?
That's how difficult this episode's been. It's now an endeavor, not an
No,
episode.
endeavor is not a bad thing. All right. You know what? I'm not going to bring up the logo. I'm going to bring up the awesome
The album art, right?
cover.
Or
Yeah,
the-
the album art that my son Lee drew for us, that Leela drew, and it's
Very cool.
fantastic. And it is, let's see, share the screen. Share. Am I sharing the screen now? No.
Nope,
no.
not
Oh,
to
I
my
messed things
eyes.
up. Sorry. Hold on. I got it.
Live
All
long,
right.
prosper.
All right. Share the screen, share the sound. All right. Do you see the cover?
Ah, nice.
All right. That is the cover. And we'll just play it and say goodnight, everybody. So good night, everybody.
Good night, good night,
It's Only a
everybody.
Snowfall by the Static Dive. All instruments, everything performed by me. Mixed and mastered by my good friend Kilo House. It's available in 3 hours on FBC.
Cover ground you're walking on.
Just like a radio
Shut through my spine as you touch my back. So cold sometimes I'm paralyzed. I
I
stay
am.
inside.
What's that?
Oh,
I'm the one that's paralyzed, Bob.
But you cause me to freeze. Oh, you're a beauty to see. But you cause me to freeze. And only a snowfall could have the same effect. Only a snowfall could have the same effect on me. On me. cold, sometimes I'm paralyzed. I stay
Yep.
inside. Oh, you're a beauty to see. But you cause me to freeze. Oh, you're a beauty to see. But you cause me to freeze. And only a snowfall could have the same effect. Only a snowfall could have the same effect on me. There you go. That's
night,
funny
everybody.
song. There you go. Only a snowfall. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a lovely evening. Thanks, folks. Thanks, friends.
Bye. Come
Okay.
again.
Bye.